Days of Our Lives fans are set for another gripping and deeply emotional episode on Monday, June 2, 2025. The lives of Salem's residents continue to intertwine through joy, sorrow, hope, and heartache, capturing the hearts of viewers of all ages. The episode opens with an emotional gathering at the bedside of Beau Brady, who is fighting valiantly for his life. Hope Brady, his wife, stands bravely by his side, holding his hand tightly, her eyes filled with determination and love. Her children, Sean Brady and Sierra Brady Weston, join her, their faces marked by anxiety and hope as they gather around their beloved father, each silently praying for his recovery. Meanwhile, viewers are transported to a surreal, ghostly version of Horton Square, Beau's spiritual limbo. The usually lively and bustling area now stands empty and eerily quiet, except for a single, mysterious figure standing at its center. As the mist clears, Beau approaches hesitantly, only to come face to face with his late son, Zach Brady, whose tragic death years ago had profoundly impacted the Brady family. The emotional intensity rises as Beau sees Zach. Tears stream down his face, overwhelmed by both grief and joy at the impossible reunion. Zach, radiating peace and wisdom beyond his years, smiles gently at his father. The powerful exchange between father and son deeply resonates, reminding viewers of the timeless bonds of love and family. Beau is torn, emotionally and spiritually, between his desperate desire to remain with Hope, Sean, Sierra, and his living grandchildren, and the powerful pull toward a peaceful eternity with Zach, the son he lost too soon. Back at Salem's hospital, Marlena Evans continues her poignant vigil beside her husband, John Black. Although Marlena had earlier told her family she believed in John's miraculous recovery, deep down, she knows these are his final moments. She deliberately sends her children, Brady, Belle, Will, Paul, and Eric, away on vacation to spare them the painful sight of their father's decline, choosing instead to cherish John's final moments privately. In a room dimly lit by a soft bedside lamp, Marlena gently holds John's hand, whispering softly of memories shared, adventures undertaken, and the deep love they've nurtured through countless trials and triumphs. The bittersweet flashbacks paint a vivid picture of a love story that has inspired fans for decades. Marlena's quiet strength is evident, as she bravely faces the impending loss of her soulmate. Steve Johnson and Kayla Brady, though not directly related to John by blood, find themselves deeply affected by his impending passing. Their connections run deep. Steve and Kayla's nephew, Sean, is married to John's daughter, Belle, and their other nephew, Sonny, is married to John's step-nephew, Will. These family ties, though complex, underscore the profound interconnectedness that binds the residents of Salem. As Steve and Kayla share heartfelt stories about John, they reflect on how deeply he has touched their lives, creating a rich tapestry of friendship, family, and loyalty. Their memories bring forward emotional flashbacks, reinforcing the strength of relationships built over decades. The shared grief across multiple families emphasizes the universal experience of loss, mourning, and cherished remembrance. Amidst these intense emotional storylines, Salem also showcases lighter, supportive interactions among its residents. Belle Black, already burdened by concerns about Beau and John, briefly reconnects with her brother Brady, who is struggling with the political complexities of voting for Demera. Brady's frustration is palpable, yet Belle provides a gentle, understanding voice, reminding him of EJ's earnest attempts at redemption. Meanwhile, Belle's nephew Will Horton offers support and receives comfort from Belle as they discuss the family crisis. Will's disappointment over his daughter Ari's decision to skip her graduation to return to Salem is evident, but Belle's comforting words reassure him, highlighting the importance of family solidarity during difficult times. Later, Will has an emotional reunion with his grandparents, Marlena and John. The tender interactions and quiet conversations reinforce the power of family bonds and support, especially during life's most challenging moments. Paul's presence and his quiet, respectful exit to allow Will and John time alone further highlight the compassionate connections among Salem's residents. As the episode concludes, viewers are left with profound emotions and meaningful reflections on family, love, and loss. The powerful narrative of Days of Our Lives continues to captivate audiences, reminding them of the resilience of the human spirit and the everlasting power of love and memory within the beloved community of Salem. Friday, May 30, 2025. Salem comes together in love, loss, and legacy. As Friday's poignant episode of Days of Our Lives unfolds, viewers are invited into a deeply emotional and reflective hour, where Salem's most cherished characters gather not only to support one another through heartbreaking times, but also to celebrate the enduring bonds of love, family, and legacy. At the hospital, where emotions are running high, the family gathers slowly, their movements subdued by the weight of the moment. Eric Brady approaches his half-brother Brady Black and their cousin Johnny DiMera, the tension between them softened by shared grief. In this moment, what unites them is stronger than any past disagreement. The presence of Marlena and Paul, calm, composed, and full of quiet strength, signals that something significant is about to unfold. Paul and Marlena emerge from John Black's room with news that John has managed to speak, his voice faint but full of meaning. The family draws closer, the gravity of the moment pulling them together. Belle arrives just in time to join the circle, her presence grounding them. Together, they gather around a video screen to watch a recording of Jude, another piece of John's legacy. As the video plays, Johnny watches from the background, his face etched with sorrow and unresolved. Silently, he slips away, burdened with unspoken words and lingering guilt. Inside John's hospital room, Will Horton sits at his grandfather's bedside. The air is still, heavy with both love and loss. A tender flashback reveals John's words to Will, praising his courage for coming out and living his truth. John's pride in his grandson shines brightly, and Will confides that his daughter, Ari, has a rebellious streak, a little spark of John Black's tenacity burning in her. Their conversation is interrupted by Johnny, who hesitantly steps into the room. Will, in a moment of quiet generosity, encourages Johnny to speak to John. "You were always his favorite," Will says, his tone free of bitterness, only filled with love and understanding. Johnny hesitates, emotions threatening to overwhelm him, until Eric enters the room. His arms wrap around his younger brother in a comforting embrace, grounding Johnny and giving him the strength he needs to face his grandfather. As Will and Johnny step out, Eric takes a seat beside John. He folds his hands in prayer, his voice low and reverent, as he thanks John not just as a father, but as a guide, a moral compass, and a source of strength throughout his life. His words carry the weight of gratitude and admiration. Soon after, it's Brady's turn. He settles next to his father, his face contorted with emotion. Brady opens up about the struggles he's faced as John's firstborn, the dark paths he's walked and the redemption he's sought. Through it all, John was his rock. Brady recalls a particularly touching memory, John giving him a plaque from the gondola he rode with Isabella, Brady's mother, shortly before her death in Venice. That gift was more than a token, it was a promise to keep Isabella's memory alive. Choked with emotion, Brady thanks his father for always honoring her, and for teaching him what it means to be a father. He vows to be the kind of dad that John was to him. Belle soon joins her brother, her eyes glistening with tears. She reaches for John's hand and sits quietly, memories flooding her mind. She's been here before. Years ago, she had also sat beside her father in a hospital room, waiting, praying. She remembers the exact moment when his fingers twitched, a small miracle, and she dares to hope it could happen again. And it does. His fingers twitch again, just as they had in the past. Belle gasps softly, and her voice trembles as she whispers, "You'll get through this, just like you did then." A whisper follows, "It's true, Tink," John murmurs. The name, his old, affectionate nickname for Belle, breaks her heart all over again, but also mends it in a small, beautiful way. It's a sign. A final moment of connection between father and daughter. She holds on to it like a lifeline. Back in the waiting area, the rest of the family shares hugs and soft-spoken conversations. They are holding each other up in every possible way. The pain of watching John fade is immense, so too is the comfort of facing it together. Brady leans against the wall, his arms folded tightly, and Johnny returns, this time ready to speak from the heart. He sits beside Will and murmurs, "I just don't want to remember him like this." Will, wiser in grief than most his age, simply nods. "We remember all of it," he says. The good, the hard, the everything. Outside of John's room, the people of Salem continue to gather, drawn not by obligation but by love. Paul talks quietly with Eric about John's lasting influence on all of them. They smile through tears, knowing that even in death, John's spirit will continue to guide their decisions and shape their futures. As the episode comes to a close, the family stands united in sorrow, but also in deep, abiding love. John Black's legacy is not just the sum of his adventures, or his legendary romances, or the battles he fought. It's the way he lived, with dignity, compassion, and strength. It's the lives he touched, the children he raised, and the unwavering love he gave to Marlena, his soulmate and forever partner. Friday's episode reminds longtime viewers why Days of Our Lives remains one of the most beloved shows on television. With its emphasis on connection, emotion, and legacy, it's not just about the drama, it's about the heart. And as fans wipe away tears, they are reminded that in Salem, love never really dies. It simply changes form and carries on through those who remain.